Finishing up with Tim's board and train here. The dogs are in a YES, and for us, that is the signal to allow them to go into prey and defense drive. They can go explore, they can mark on things, they can play with one another, they can track, they can hunt. There are some stipulations on becoming aggressive or reactive, things like that. Those things won't be tolerated, but they can go be dogs, and this is where they get to, satisfy their needs and their instincts and their drives in a safe and healthy way. But when we ask for a mindset change, when we ask for the dogs to move into a different drive and understand that these drives are not to be expelled constantly, that there's a time and place for them, the dogs need to be able to follow through with that. So let's test what we can do here. Let's go. So let's go is the signal for pack drive, which means that they should all be settling. They should be settling down. It doesn't mean get into heel position. It doesn't mean be right by my side, right in front of me, right behind me, right next to me. It doesn't mean any of that. It's not a position. It means your mindset needs to change. And it's no longer the time for play. It's no longer, Clark, nope. Good. It's no longer the time for play. It's no longer the time for tracking. It's no longer the time for marking. It's no longer the time for hunting and doing all of those other things. It's the time for just being neutral and moving with the group. And it's up to the person who is leading the group to call what time it is, to call when it's time to be neutral and just moving together, when it's time to play and explore and hunt, when it's time to defend. The leader calls all of those things. And so right now we've called for neutral, relaxed walking. And now we can change it again if we like. We can bring it over here. Clark. Yes. And we can go back to exploring and playing and doing all of those other things. None of which are an obedience command, none of which are a position, but a mindset. And this is how we get dogs past reactivity, past anxiety, past fear, really helping them understand time and place, really helping them understand mindset, understand how to switch when necessary between those mindsets. Because when we ask for a calm mindset and we have nurtured that and cultivated that, when the dog has made that a pattern and understands how to get into that at the right time and place, we don't have reactivity, we don't have anxiety, we don't have aggression and things like that. And that's really what we focus on here at Method Canine. Our slogan is mind over mechanics. So you'll very rarely hear me asking dogs for obedience commands like heel or sit or down or stand or things like that. You'll very rarely hear me ask that, and you'll see me ask or hear me ask a dog to change its mindset. And we do that through, things like working on calmness through massage, working on calmness through slow motion, working on calmness, in a variety of different ways, but also showing the dogs when it's appropriate to play and teaching them appropriate play manners and teaching them things like that, where we can help these dogs switch in and out of their mindsets and at the end of the day, hopefully change their emotional state about those particular triggers. All right, let's go. Make sure I got all three of them. 1, 2, 3. Again, a mindset, not a position. So I don't care if they kind of move on either side of me. I don't care if they stand next to this dog at one point, stand next to another dog. I don't care if they're a little bit in front of me, a little bit behind me. I don't care if they're right next to me, if that's where they choose to be. It's the mindset that I'm looking for, where I'm saying, okay, let's get rid of all of the static, the distractions. Let's tone it down a little bit. Let's get nice and coachable. Let's move together. And that's what the leader is calling for. Really nicely done. Mr. Tim is going to be ready to go home tomorrow.